be a Steelers, consider others before you consider yourself. To protect your brother, even from himself. To give support at your own expense. And when wearing the black and gold suit of armor, make sure nobody desecrates it, disrespects it. Most importantly, we ourselves don't dishonor it. From previous legends who have donned the black and gold. These virtues I learned while playing for the Steelers are what make the legacy of the black and gold timeless. They are passed down in the locker room from the steel curtain to anyone who valiantly wears the black and gold. Creating a brotherhood that is deeper than money, business, and winning. To be a Steelers, consider others before you consider yourself. This is our culture, Steeler culture.
Now, here are your hosts, Rob and Dan, the SteelTwins.
Let's rock.
SteelTwins Nation, what is going on? How you guys doing on this Wednesday night? As we are live for episode 95 of the Steeler Culture Podcast. Shout out to Greg Lloyd, by the way.
Shout out to Jarvis Jones, too.
No. What are you talking about?
Yes. Shout out to
Don't utter that man's name ever again.
Okay.
Don't say that name.
Shout out
to
Keone Benton.
Good. That's better. That's even better. There we go.
I gotta stir the pot a little bit.
You know who I don't want to shout out? John Lynch.
Am I the only one that is sick and tired of all this waiting? I know I'm not. I know
not just the waiting, but the constant, repeated reports.
Yeah,
that every person on social media is just spewing. We know. We know. It's not new information.
It's like everyone is reconfiguring their wording to give us new reports when in actuality, it's just stuff we've known for a week now. And at that, before we got this new report from Ian Rappaport, I was thinking to myself, man, I want this all to be over. Not just because I want him to be a Steeler first and foremost, but just so that we can stop getting all these stupid reports, quote unquote, of stuff we already know, of information that is already known to us. It's nothing new to us. But finally, we got some new news. I mean, it was new yesterday. It's not exactly new, but it's some advancement into what is going on now. 5 months of being dragged through the mud, of being teased, of being baited about this Brandon Aiyuk potential trade to the Pittsburgh Steelers, which is a lot closer now than it ever could be. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a deal in place between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the 49ers on a potential trade that would send Brandon Aiyuk to the Steel City. It has not been completed. It has not been completely agreed on. It is not official because the 49ers are going for one final push to try to extend Brandon Aiyuk and do what they should have done this entire time instead of dragging everybody, their fans, the Steelers fans, everyone else, NFL fans, everyone invested in this situation, dragging him for 5 months. They could have just done the one thing that they could have done this entire time and just avoided all of our hope, all of our high hopes, and potentially our disappointment and not even acquiring a guy like Brandon Aiyuk. But there is a deal in place, and it's just one of those things where when is this going to end? When are we going to get a decision? When are we going to get a conclusion to all this? Because I can tell you right now, Rob can attest to this. I am impatient about everything in life. I don't even know what the word patient means.
It's not in his vocabulary. He is 100% correct on that.
So when we got this report from Ian Rappaport yesterday afternoon, I was getting antsy. I was thinking, oh wow, we're gonna get a decision done very soon, man. Potentially the same day. No, we're still waiting.
No, I had to tell Dan constantly, don't get your hopes up. I guarantee you a deal's not going to happen.
I find you
tonight.
being the voice of reason very often in these situations because, for a player like this, it's very rare that the Steelers are in position to acquire someone this massive or make a move that's this massive. This is not Steeler-like at all. This is not the Steelers that we grew up with. This is not our Steelers know.
This is not the Steeler approach. The usual Steelers is just them sitting back and relying on the guys that they already have.
Or building through the draft, or in free agency, picking up the scraps after the first two waves are already fucking ridden.
No, you never see the Steelers involved in trying to acquire a big-name player via a trade.
Yeah.
And especially in this situation where they could give him exactly what he wants. He wants his money, he wants his guaranteed money, and he wants the years with that money.
Yes, and with the fact that San Francisco and Pittsburgh have a deal in place, I would imagine there is a contract on the table ready for Aiyuk to be signed if he isn't, indeed traded to Pittsburgh. But that's not official yet because San Francisco is still talking to Aiyuk and his agent and trying to get one last push to sign him long term. Now, there has been conflicting reports regarding what has been going on with Aiyuk and the 49ers and their status in trying to retain him in terms of an extension. There's reports from Rappaport saying that he has declined their offer, that they're not close to a decision, they're not close to a contract extension. Then there's conflicting reports from Mike Garafolo on the same show on NFL Network saying how a lot of the language, a lot of the details in the contract extension that they're talking about, that they're working for, is in the right direction and has been agreed to, except for one last little hurdle, which, if I had to give you a guess what that hurdle could be, it's probably guaranteed money.
If it's not guaranteed money, I would probably say it's max amount of years.
Probably. But the thing is, you got Rappaport saying one thing, and you got Garafolo saying the other. They're contradicting each other. Who do you believe? And truthfully, man, the report we got from Rappaport yesterday afternoon, how new of information was that? We got that reported just yesterday. But that could have been information that was held within for a week now, because what it appears to me is the Steelers are getting very tired of waiting for a decision with the Niners. It seems like they have had their offer on the table. They have given Lynch and Shanahan and the 49ers front office their offer, and they have agreed to it. But that could have been agreed to on for days now. And then potentially the Steelers are now trying to pressure the Niners and making a decision because they're getting tired of waiting themselves. They're just like us, man. They're tired of waiting on a decision, on waiting on something official, because we just want this to come to a conclusion, and we're hoping that it benefits the Steelers in the long run. We hope that it leads to Aiyuk pairing with George Pickens, with Wilson and or Fields at quarterback. That is the ultimate goal here. So them agreeing on a potential deal for a potential trade, that could have been something that was agreed on a week ago. But that's just new information to us because that's what was reported just yesterday.
Yeah.
So this could all be information that is just old news at this point. This is potentially just something that we have already known or we've already just suspected. And now it's officially coming out that this is the situation. This is the update. Now we're just waiting on the Niners and Aiyuk to agree on something. Otherwise, the Niners will give the Steelers the final call that, hey, You can have him.
Yep.
When is that going to be? I am just over all of this.
I think just about all of us are. Not just Steelers fans, not just Niner fans, but I think overall NFL fans. This story has been a constant thing throughout the entire offseason leading up to the regular season soon. And it's just been dragged through the mud. It's just been this whole situation. I mean, they're stretching as much as they possibly can. It's quite annoying, honestly.
Yeah, the Niners, I get why they're doing it, but it's not just the Niners, man. It's also Aiyuk and his agent. They have played this perfectly. This is exactly what they want. This is exactly what they are trying to do. Everything that Aiyuk has done the last 5 months, tweeting about how him and Tomlin look like twins and all the cryptic stuff that he's been saying and putting on social media and going on the Pivot podcast and saying how the Steelers are one of his top destinations, which is more than likely true, and Ryan Clark trying to just manifest it to real life, speaking into existence, really.
Yep.
All this could just be a massive ploy by Aiyuk and his agent to pressure the Niners or pressure anyone to give Aiyuk what Aiyuk really wants.
I think that's exactly what it is. I mean, you've seen...
It's called leverage.
You've seen what the Commanders report... Not the Commanders, I'm sorry. They were in it, but then they withdrew because, they're already stacked wide receiver core. The Browns, you've seen, how aggressive they were. Their deal was supposedly leaked with Amari Cooper involved in a plethora of draft capital and the money that they were going to pay him. Aiyuk didn't want to go to Cleveland. Same thing with New England. $32 million reportedly that they were willing to pay Aiyuk and whatever draft capital was. Aiyuk didn't want to go. He used both of those teams to kind of show the 49ers hey, that's what they think of me. That's what they think of me.
But I don't want to go play for them because I'm not going to find the same winning success I am here.
No, it's already been well documented that not only does he prefer to play with the Steelers, but his biggest preference is to remain with the Niners.
Correct.
He's made that very well known.
Well,
that's very well documented.
Yeah, I mean, he wants the bag, deservedly so, but of course he still wants to win.
But he used even us as an example. The Browns, Patriots, and the Steelers at this point.
He has absolutely used the Steelers as leverage. And it's not to say that it's not in the same boat where he didn't want to go to the Browns or he didn't want to go to the Patriots. I deep down believe he absolutely wants to come to Pittsburgh. Who doesn't want to play for Mike Tomlin?
Yeah.
Think of Tomlin how you will. Think of say what you want about Mike Tomlin. There has never been. I've not seen one player ever in NFL or in Steelers history say anything bad about Mike Tomlin. Not one out of everything. Not one. So I absolutely believe Aiyuk wants to come to Pittsburgh. But yes, he is using them as leverage as well to get a bigger deal from the Niners. Or if that's not the case, if they don't want to cough it up, then guess what? Best case scenario is he'll come to Pittsburgh. He'll get the bag because paying him isn't an issue with Khan and company. So, again, it's information we've kind of already known. The Ian Rappaport tweet that we got yesterday is new information, but how new is it? Because how long have the Steelers been waiting on a decision? How long have the Niners and the Steelers agreed on a deal until the Niners and Aiyuk continue extension talks? How long has that been? It appears to me it's been days. It's been pretty much a week now.
It's been reported by Jeremy Fowler, I believe Jerry Dulac, Steelers insider, and as well as Josina Anderson, if I'm not mistaken, from yesterday, that the Steelers have been, waiting for days. It's like the talks between the Steelers and Niners have been eerily quiet for a couple days.
Now this could mean that could be for a multitude of reasons, man. Because either the Niners just don't want to get rid of him, and they're waiting this out. They're trying to stall as long as they can to either force the Steelers to up their offer or hope Aiyuk gets bored or the mixture of all the above. Or it could just be Aiyuk is trying to pressure the Niners and or the Steelers to increase their bid so that he can get the most out of this. Because obviously both teams are getting impatient with all of this. Not just the teams, but of course the fan bases as well.
Yes.
And of course the players. Of course Aiyuk himself. But perhaps this is just all a mind trick, all a mind game by Aiyuk to try to peel out as much as possible, to squeeze out as much as he can. This could be a plethora of things. All I know is it needs to come to an end because it's stressing me out. It really is, man. Do I truly think he goes to the Steelers? I'll be real with you, man. 24 hours ago, I was a lot more optimistic. 24 hours later, I don't know if I feel the same way. I'll be 100% real with you, man. I don't know if he truly comes to the Steelers. My gut feeling is telling me he's going to resign with the Niners. Now, I'm hoping reverse psychology, or I'm trying to reverse some sort of verbiage or whatnot so that in reality, it'll turn into him being traded to the Steelers. Maybe I'm trying to reverse something here. But, chat, do you believe that Aiyuk will be traded to the Steelers? Yes or no? Let us know. Yes or no? And the thing is, man, there is a deal agreed upon on a potential trade. What would the Steelers trade? Now, there have been some reports or rumors more so that of what the Steelers didn't trade, which includes there are rumors that they did not trade a first-round pick, not one. And Jerry Dulac did confirm yesterday in a tweet they did not trade any players.
No players involved.
Omar Khan stood his ground, and he is not trading any players. No player from the Steelers is in that agreement. So what did the Steelers trade? What did the 49ers agree to? If I had to give you a guess, I'm thinking 2 draft picks next year and a potential second or third round pick for 2026. So, for example, maybe a 2025 second and a 2025 fourth, along with a 2026 second or third.
I could see something like that. It could be good enough for San Francisco to just accept it, and whatever they want to do with the picks is whatever they want to do with the picks. They want to look for another team to trade for another receiver to replace Aiyuk. They could very well do so. As long as the Steelers get Aiyuk.
Yeah,
that's the hope.
Potentially that's another thing that's kind of stalling everything. Maybe the Niners are still calling around teams to see what wide receiver they could trade for to replace Aiyuk. A decision like that, a trade talk like that, isn't just going to be like an instant move.
Yeah.
So perhaps maybe that's another reason why this is being stalled. But the chat is very indifferent. He said no, yes, no, no, yes, no.
Well, again, keep in mind when it comes to Garofalo's report that a lot of the language and the contract terms between Aiyuk and the Niners has been agreed to, but that one final hurdle. It could be guaranteed money. It could be X amount of years. Say the 49ers want to keep him for 4 years or 3 years, but Aiyuk wants 4. That could be that.
Or
hurdle.
vice versa.
It could be whatever. But, I mean, if Garofalo's report is legit, if it's true, that one final hurdle, I mean, they've come this far for how many months? How many discussions?
Right.
How many back and forths? They've come this far to get the majority of everything solved, only for that one thing to stop them in their tracks.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's one of those things where
that one thing's going to stop Aiyuk from remaining a Niner.
Well, if that's the case, John Lynch needs to hurry his ass up and make a decision. It's either give Aiyuk what he wants and up the price, or let him go and let us have him. Let the Steelers have him. Let Omar Khan and Mike Tomlin have him. Make a decision. It's that simple. Either increase your bid, increase your offer, increase your price, or give him to the Steelers. It really is as simple as that. Like, what the fuck is taking so long? Like, I'm being blatantly honest. I don't know what is the wait. Is there more that I'm not thinking of that's got to be tied into this? To me, it's just that simple.
Well, you gotta think. Here's another thing you gotta think about with John Lynch's situation with the Niners. Aiyuk is obviously a big name that he's going to want to try to keep. Whether they solve this final hurdle, I don't know. Do I think they do so? Ultimately, if I had to be honest with you, yes. I don't think they go this far, this many months, this much back and forth for that one final hurdle to just be, the one thing stopping them from keeping Aiyuk to remain a Niner, and then they just be like, you know what, that's it, that's enough. We're going to trade you to Pittsburgh. I think they solved that.
Yeah.
I think the problem is the X amount of years. Because
I think the problem is guaranteed money.
Well, I say X amount of years because he wants $30 million, and say you do 3-year, $90 million contract, $30 million per year, right?
That'd be fully guaranteed,
right? But then you also got to think about
what about signing bonuses and all that? He would get somewhere up to like 115 for X amount of years.
Does he want to only keep him for 3 years though? Or in this case, 4 extra years, but Aiyuk probably wants a longer X amount of years, like a 4-year deal, which would tie him to the Niners for the next 5 years. And that's where the cap situation could play a part, because John Lynch still has a plethora of free agents of his own that he's going to want to try to keep. I think Drake Greenlaw's coming up. Hufanga, I think he's coming up. Brock Purdy, of course.
Trent Williams.
Trent, absolutely. He's another guy holding out. Like that's a lot of star names right there that, he's going to want to try to keep a hold of.
Yeah, see, Aiyuk's market value as of right now, according to SpotRack, is 27.5. He's not selling for anything less than that. He's not selling for anything less than 28.
No, he's not.
If he gets 28, then that's a steal considering the wide receiver market.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think the problem, if I had to guess, is the X amount of years, because that money needs to go to the other free agents that John Lynch is going to want to try to retain, going to want to try to keep.
I can see that.
If he gives Aiyuk that $30 extra million for that extra year, then he's not going to have much cap space in order to keep the other guys that I just mentioned.
Well, it's also one of those things where Lynch understands that the Super Bowl window is closing. Now, the reason I say that is because Brock Purdy is a very solid quarterback. He is. He's going to get the bag. Otherwise, I don't know who else the Niners are going to have. They've tried everything. They did enough with Jimmy G. They tried Trey Lance. Didn't work.
There's no way that they're going to let this guy just walk away after 4 years.
So he's going to get the bag. He's going to get probably Jordan Love type money, which is ridiculous, but yes. He is serviceable. I wouldn't consider him one of the best. I wouldn't consider him elite. I consider him,
at least not yet.
I consider
he could work his way towards there, but he's not there yet.
I consider him a guy that is just very good at getting the job done, getting the ball to his targets, letting them work, and when it comes to big game moments, sometimes the pressure is just a little too much for him.
And that showcased here and there.
So when I say the Super Bowl window is closing, first of all, Kyle Shanahan should have already had one as head coach, but
he had like 3 different opportunities.
Shanahan is going to choke.
That's in his bloodline.
Right. Well, it didn't help that against the Chiefs years back, Jimmy G overthrew Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah.
So that didn't help either. But plus, weren't they up by like 2 touchdowns in that game, and then they choked it to Mahomes?
Yes.
So
they did again in the last year's Super Bowl too. They were up, and then guess what? Mahomes come back.
Yeah. So
it's always a thing with them. But yes,
I know, but the reason I say the Super Bowl window is closing is because Bosa, he's still young, he's still an elite pass rusher, but he's also not going to last forever. Trent Williams, he's not going to last forever. Debo, I don't see him being there any more than 3 years. CMC, the running back position, we all know how that works out. Now they can work around any running back in their system, in their scheme. Kyle Shanahan has done that for a long time.
Yeah.
But CMC's a different beast. So you got to to me, John Lynch and them, they got to capitalize within at least the next 3 years before the Super Bowl window really starts shrinking. So you got to capitalize within the next 3 years. So in that case, to your comment about the contract, yeah, I think in that regard, maybe that could come into play. But
I think it absolutely does come into play because I'm not saying all 3 of those guys could just walk, out, go into free agency and they get picked up by whatever team, right? I'm not saying all those guys, walk away. I think he retains some of them, but you have to think that he's going to want to try to retain all of them. If he looks to lock Aiyuk in this long-term deal with X amount of money that Aiyuk is looking for, how much is he going to have to try to retain the guys that I just mentioned?
Well, it's just impossible nowadays to retain all of them.
So he's really got to pick and choose. He's really got to make a decision here. Does he choose one guy in Aiyuk, who's fantastic, legit?
Aiyuk plays a massive part in their success.
He's legit.
He plays a incredible part in their success.
But then you got a guy like Dre Greenlaw, a star linebacker opposite of Fred Warner. You got Hufanga, who's one of the quick rising safeties in the National Football League. You got Brock Purdy, who they're going to want to try to retain. Trent Williams, he's 36, but he's still a beast at left tackle.
What I've noticed about the wide receiver position, and I was thinking about this the past couple of days, right? With all this really starting to peak again. Wide receivers, you can find some really good wide receivers that will put up numbers, but to find elite talent, to find legitimate game changers and X factors and impact guys is hard to come by. Brandon Aiyuk is that. Like, I put him up there in terms of like impact and game changers and like the massive plays they bring to the field. I compare him to like a Justin Jefferson, like a Jamar Chase, like a Cooper Kupp when he's healthy in the slot, right? Like, I compare him to guys, Tyreek Hill, guys like that, where they will constantly put up numbers. They will constantly put up plays. They will be the X factors, the game changers that will legitimately help you win football games on a constant basis. Like, you throw them the football and you have this sense of trust every single time. When I look at it with the Steelers, there's not been a single wide receiver since Antonio Brown that I haven't had that feeling with.
Well, of course.
Except George Pickens. Deontay was decent. Wasn't as good as I think many people put him out to be because he just wasn't as impactful as he should have been. He just wasn't.
No.
He just wasn't.
Too hot and cold.
Claypool, forget about it. All these other receivers, Juju, forget about it. Just not good enough, clearly. Look where they're at now. Pickens is that guy. Pickens has that potential. He has expressed that the past 2 years in an awful scheme.
Mm-hmm.
He I think is the next receiver to break out into that elite level where he's a guy that will literally make game-changing plays all over the field for you. Like, he will win you football games on a constant basis, as he's done for us. Aiyuk is that guy. So when it comes to the Niners, it might not be as easy to replace him. As for the Steelers, yeah, there's a big reason why we're trying to make a trade for that guy, because we haven't had a guy like that. We haven't had a game changer. We haven't had an X-factor wide receiver since AB.
Mm-hmm.
We're finally hitting that with Pickens, but it's not enough. It's just not enough for this offense. It's not enough in the
In
league.
today's NFL, definitely not.
We've got 2 words for
Shout out to Billy Butcher.
Billy Butcher with a $5 super chat says, "Look at this 49ers fan talking shit in here, bro. Good luck this year. Everyone in your team, it's either holding out or hurt. LOL."
Yeah, man. I know, bro. Hey, Billy, appreciate you. Shout out to Butcher, by the way. Cool name. That's a boys reference.
Yes,
by
the boys. Yeah,
the way.
Butcher's a
fucking
badass.
clank.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is exhausting, man. All this is exhausting. I just want it to end. I want it to come to a conclusion. I at this point, man, whatever the decision is, the decision is. Whatever happens, happens. Would I be disappointed if Aiyuk doesn't become a Steeler? Of course, because I got my hopes up way too high at this point because the interest is real. For the first time in a long time, and I think probably ever, I can't recall the last time the Steelers were in position to make a big blockbuster trade for a player like this, for an elite player like this.
I mean, the Steelers are like
down with that. We've got 2 words for you.
Pittsburgh Steelers #1 fan with $1. Appreciate you, man.
I mean, look at it this way. The Steelers are at the goal line.
Yeah.
The Steelers are right there. Like they have agreed to a deal in place.
That's what I'm saying. So
They're at the goal line. They just got to get across.
like we're right there. Like
So I get why many people have their expectations high. They're getting their hopes up. I mean, the Steelers are in prime position
right
to
there.
achieve to acquire this guy.
Dude, we're right. All we got to do is run it with beast mode. Okay? And ironically, Russell Wilson's our fucking quarterback. All you have to do is run it with beast mode. Don't pass it. It's all you got to do. Or if you do run it, don't fumble it like Bettis.
Yeah, you don't want that. But it's the fact
Because
that
that's just a play that runs in my mind
yeah,
right there.
oh yeah, of course, very iconic play. But it's the fact that San Fran is still going out their way to try to keep Aiyuk. They have an offer out. They're going to continue to give offers out. And via Garrett Fuller's report, they're pretty much right there outside of one final hurdle.
Right.
So at the moment, and I've stated this in various other streams throughout the week with this situation, my expectations are low. Don't get me wrong. I want Aiyuk to be a Steeler really badly. But I'm keeping my expectations low because of the situation right now.
See, now my expectation is starting to drip a little bit because of all the time that's passing.
Again, it's just being dragged out. At this point, I just want it to be over, despite the outcome.
You know,
just end it.
There's a reason why us Steelers fans get excited for moves like this because we're not used to it.
Never.
We're not used to it. We're never in position to do shit like this. So like,
If you're not down
wow,
with that,
appreciate you. Steeler Lee with
we got
199.
two
What
words
number
for
would Brandon Aiyuk wear since Jefferson has 11?
Jefferson can give away 11.
Nah, man, I don't think it's that easy.
No, come on, with that contract, you could pay it. He could pay for that.
Well, what's
Pay for
available?
that number.
What's available? Would he wear single digits? What was his college number?
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
He can't wear that.
He can wear 84.
He can't wear 2.
It's available, dude. All right. It's available.
You know, I never really gave it thought, but the number he could wear, I don't know. Maybe, Do we have a, hold on, wait a minute. No one's wearing that number, are they?
What number are you thinking?
Hold on, I want to say before.
Well, 17's available.
I was about to say, yeah, that's the number I was thinking of, 17.
17 is not worn at the moment on offense.
He can wear 17. He can wear 17. But
I don't really care what number he wears as long as he's a Steeler.
But yeah, like I was saying, man, like I'll take it back to 2017 when the Steelers signed Joe Hayden. We were all incredibly hyped because that was a dream. That was a Madden only type thing for the Steelers, you know, especially with Kevin Colbert at GM. We never made a fucking move like that. We never signed someone of that greatness, of that name value before. So when that happened, yeah, we all went nuts. And then when we traded for Minka, we all went nuts because, wow, they actually did it. They actually did it. They upgraded the safety position. They went after a first-round pedigree guy, and look where we're at.
Yep.
They signed Patrick Queen, biggest contract in Steelers free agency history. Big move. They went after Russell Wilson.
They traded for Justin Fields.
Like, this is all new stuff to us. So, yeah, when stuff like this happens, yeah, you know, we're going to get pretty excited about it because we're not used to guys like, we're not used to going out and getting the big free agents. We're not used to getting the household names. We're not.
We're just
now that we have a legitimate deal in place, agreed upon by Lynch, by Khan, we're right there. So if we don't get them, yeah, I will be incredibly upset. I will be very, very upset.
Yeah, I get it. Chad, you're right. I forgot. Cordero Patterson is 84.
Yeah.
Completely forgot about that. Just haven't seen him play yet.
He can wear 17. I can't get these coins out.
But, I mean, listen, I get it. I mean, the Steelers are right there. The Steelers are in prime position.
Yes.
They're never this active in this poll.
Yeah. Joe Hayden kept injuring his foot. Yeah, but when he was healthy, he was the best corner.
But remember the 2018 season?
Bro, Joe Hayden 5
interceptions, Pro Bowl year. The guy was shut down with Steven Nelson.
Man, Joe Hayden, has been our best corner in the past decade. Not even joking. Not even joking. What a dog, man. I don't even have his jersey. That's a shame. I don't want to see another Steeler wear number 8 ever again. I have trauma, dude. Every time I see 8, even when I'm playing Madden or whatnot, I just get PTSD vibe, bro. I can't get that out my head. I can't.
You know, quite honestly, 11's a bad luck number too. 11 was never a great number for the Steelers.
No, it really wasn't.
Like off the top of my head, the best 11, at least from when I watched, was Marcus Wheaton. Claypool, hell no. Van Jefferson, I mean, I'm not too high on him yet. He's going to have to show more on the field. Who else was 11?
I'd have to do some digging.
Who else was 11? I thought there was another guy.
Wasn't
Allen Robinson. Yeah, he sucked.
Yeah, him. Oh, God. Yeah, don't give him 11. Give him 17. Niner fan here says, Corey says, not hating Aiyuk to Steelers would be crazy good for your team. Better if you guys pick him up because we got too many players to pay for. Good luck this year.
Yeah, see, and that's why I brought up the upcoming free agents that Lynch has got to figure out.
Yeah,
Corey.
man. Much respect, Corey. I mean, you know, you guys, you got a good point there. I mean, yeah, we got players to pay too. We got Pickens coming up. We got Najee, James Daniels potentially.
If you're not down
But two of those
with
might
that,
not even come back.
we've got
Billy
two
Butcher with a
words
2.
for you.
The 49ers fan.
This 49ers fan holding on for dear life.
Oh. So you're holding on for dear life, Billy. So you don't want Aiyuk to go, is what you're saying. Dre, yes, Dante Moncrief. I don't know why you brought him back up.
Oh, Conquer. Stephon Logan. I haven't heard that name in years.
Yeah, dude.
I forgot all about him. Shoot.
Dude, let's just yeah. If he's a Steeler, don't give him 11. Van Jefferson could keep it. Man, you might as well retire that. That along with 13. 13 was never a good number.
No, it just never looked good on a Steeler uniform.
Now, I wanted to get into another quick discussion. Because if the trade falls through, if the Steelers don't get Aiyuk, what is their backup plan? What do they lean on? Who do they go at wide receiver?
Off the top of my head, I have no idea. I don't know what their backup plan would be.
It would be Van Jefferson.
Would they just ride with what they got? Roman Wilson, Van Jefferson?
Roman Wilson, you know, he might play this preseason. I don't know if it's going to be this Saturday. It might be next Saturday. But he could play because he hasn't been in a walking boot for like a week now. So,
Yeah.
good signs there. But, you know, he hasn't practiced at all this training camp outside of the first week. So that little experience, putting that responsibility on him, he could probably go in with that type of pressure, that type of weight on his shoulders because he comes from a winning school from Michigan. So like,
Yeah, the pressure's all over. You know, the Michigan players, you know, they're all about pressure. They feel it. They know it.
But stepping up as the wide receiver too, you know, it's still one of those things where it's asking a lot from a rookie. And the Steelers typically don't rush their rookies. Mike Tomlin never rushes his rookies. So
Unless absolutely necessary. This could be a situation where it is necessary.
or has Omar Khan been hitting up phones of other teams just in case this falls through?
Well, we brought up, you know.
Has he been trying to put all his eggs in one basket on Aiyuk, or does he have a plan B?
I would like to think that he does. I really would. I mean, we brought up DK Metcalf just a couple months ago. We brought up him.
There was a report that the Steelers talked to at least 6 teams in regards to receiver, and 2 of them shut them down. One of them was the Broncos.
Yeah. Yeah,
The other-
Cortland Sutton, yeah, we brought his name up several times. I don't think that's happening anymore.
Yeah.
I don't. Sean Payton just doesn't feel interested in giving up anybody, and he's going to want as many targets for Bo Nix as humanly possible. So
Yeah.
Sutton, although he looked like a very likely option at the moment, I don't think Cortland Sutton's coming over. Again, DK, you know, I believe the Steelers did talk to Seattle. You know, they were testing the waters,
Right.
so to speak, during that time.
So, yeah, that could be a plan B. DK, maybe. I don't know if he's up for trade, but I know damn well that they would save a lot of cap space by getting rid of DK because obviously the trade would be after June 1st. It is the 8th, is the 14th of October, so it's one of those things where maybe, I mean, they did draft Jackson Smith and Jimba last year. They still got Lockett.
Yeah, they do.
I don't know. I don't know what direction they want to go. I don't know. See, you know, for Seattle, it's one of those things where you don't know how it's going to go post the Pete Carroll era.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. Otherwise, I know everyone's saying I see you guys in the chat. You guys are saying CD. Big fan of CD, bro.
CD Lamb.
Big fan of CD. Loved him coming out of Oklahoma. But that's going to cost a lot.
It is.
A lot more than what it would cost to get Aiyuk.
Dallas is in a similar situation as San Francisco. They got a plethora of free agents coming up. Not only CD, but they may, at this point, they're going to have to keep Dak because Trey Lance is shit in the bed in preseason.
Don't pay Dak. Don't pay Dak $50 million. That'd be the
It's Jerry
dumbest.
Jones.
That
It's
would
Jerry
be that would
Jones.
be the dumbest thing in franchise history for the Cowboys.
It
Or
is.
you know what? Give him $50 million. We will gladly take CD.
It's Jerry Jones,
I
and
know.
he's very loyal to Dak. He always has been, and it's just about keeping a quarterback on the team. I don't see Dak leaving.
See,
CD, I mean, that's up in the air for me.
I think Jerry Jones's thought process is, I could replace wide receiver easily. You know, I've seen receivers come and go. I've seen receivers come and I've had the playmaker Michael Irvin. I've had Miles Austin. I've had Dez Bryant. I have Terrence Williams. I've had CD. I've had Michael Gallup. I've had a plethora of other receivers. They can come in and out. With quarterback, I think he's afraid to let Dak go because he's afraid they're going to be in a worse position if they don't have Dak. So he's going to cough up whatever Dak wants.
So I can only imagine, before Romo, came about, how they were. And I was too young to see how that situation was, how they played, but I can't imagine it was good.
Right.
They found a gem in Romo. So I don't really see Jerry Jones wanting to be in quarterback purgatory.
Right.
I don't.
But I'm not going to put too much stock into the CD Lamb camp because it's not. I just don't think it's going to happen. I know there's many things I can't say that in regards to Omar Khan, but Jerry Jones is going to ask a lot, and I don't know if Khan's going to want to pay that because he knows he can get cheaper for Aiyuk.
Yeah.
Or he can send cheaper for Aiyuk.
At this point, yeah. If Jerry Jones is going to give up CD Lamb, I mean, he's going to want big cap. Major cap.
Well, did I say October? I meant August.
August, yeah.
My mind is in October. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I want October to be here, too.
I want summer to end. I'm ready for fall. I'm ready for the holidays.
I need that hoodie season. I need that seasonal type of
yeah.
thing coming around.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm ready for spooky season. I'm ready for fucking
Where sports is at its peak, spooky season, holidays around the corner is the best time of the year.
I agree. That's what I drive.
And pumpkin spice. Can't go wrong with pumpkin spice.
Yes, I've already started. Yeah, I'm not putting too much stock into that.
And another player that they're going to have to worry about is Micah Parsons. They don't want to get rid of him.
God.
After he fell to them in the draft, they are not getting rid of Micah.
No, that'd be dumb.
No way.
That'd be dumb.
So, again, it's a similar situation. Jerry Jones is going to have to pick and choose. CD could be the odd man out. Whether he gets traded, I don't know. Whether he just becomes a free agent, I don't know.
Who's the highest paid defensive player?
Is that Nick Bosa?
I don't know. I'll tell you in a minute.
Is that Nick Bosa at the moment?
Might be. Is Nick Bosa at $34 million?
Yeah.
What do you think Parsons is going to get?
Somewhere close, I'm sure, with how he plays and how he moves around and just his impact overall. Yeah, he's gonna want that money.
Yeah, dude. So it's either Aiyuk or bust for me. I'm sure they've talked to other teams. I don't know how further along they are compared to Aiyuk. Of course, we'll never know. I mean, that's only their information and their information only.
And I don't even want to get started on the free agency pool. There is nobody.
There's nobody. No, man. It's, I can already vision it. The Aiyuk trade falling through, and we got to sell for Juju. I appreciate Juju, but that is an absolute...
That's only if the medicals pan out. I've heard constantly that his knees are shot, that, just he's obviously nowhere near where he used to be. Which, I mean,
No.
obviously. And then who else is out there? Michael Thomas? Again, the medicals. Hell no.
PDG 90, yes, that is a Steelers championship belt.
Yes. Yeah. Dan got that for me for Christmas.
Yeah. I thought it'd be perfect for the background.
And it fits right there. It's a perfect placement there. Now you got to get you one so we can be the Steelers tag team champions.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, no, maybe Aiyuk and Pickens can be the what do you call them? The Usos of the Steelers wide receiver core.
Okay. Who's our penitentiary?
That was the only tag team I could think of in my head. There's not a lot of great tag teams out there anymore. FTR. No, they're not really FTR. They're more so like the Usos. What other tag teams are there? The tag team scene in wrestling is not really going crazy right now.
No, it's not. It's
Anyway, yeah, I don't know what other receiver they would fall back on. So it's either Aiyuk or bust. And it seems like Omar Khan has stood his ground with his offer. Because maybe the Niners are really stretching this out. They're stalling to try to get as much out of Khan as they can. But it seems like Khan is holding his ground. And we've stated for months now, Khan doesn't crack for anyone. He doesn't feel pressured.
If you're not down with that, we've got 2 words for you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know you're a Niners fan. I apologize. Said I'm not a Niners fan. Fuck the 49ers. Steelers all day for me, says Billy Butcher. Billy, I apologize. But I appreciate it, man. Yeah.
I'd rather bring back AB and Bell than Juju.
You want that CT? B-Wick, you want that CT in the locker room? Did y'all watch that interview? Or not the interview. I don't even know what interview it was. There was a clip floating around on social media where they're asking each other, do you got CTE? Do you got CTE?
I don't know about Bell, but AB sure as hell do. No doubt in my mind. Those two are at the top of the mountain.
That was a sad clip to watch because, we grew up on that.
Those two were in the prime of their careers, the prime of their positions.
Like when we first started truly investing into the Steelers, it was at the beginning of the Bell and AB era. We watched everything, every snap, every play, every highlight, every fucking touchdown, dude.
I remember.
We watched it all.
I remember.
It was a joy to watch and to see where they're at now. I'm thinking to myself, these were first ballot guys just 10 years ago.
Yeah. I remember it was 2014. It was Bell's second year.
God, that was 10 years
and
ago.
AB was
my God.
AB was just getting right into it. And then that's where, I think that span continued, right? The 5-6 year span, 1,000 straight yards and whatnot.
Yeah. Todd Gaskin in the chat says, as a Bengals fan, that era traumatized me. I know it did. I know. Hey, now time out. Hold on.
Yeah, Dre Kirkpatrick, bro.
No, man, that was like, I'd say that was the last time the Steelers and Bengals rivalry was truly full of hatred. Vontez Burfict going around, Andy Dalton.
That wild card game, my God.
I
don't recall a Steelers playoff matchup recently that was as physical as that one. Probably ever.
Yeah, really.
Probably ever.
Not just that, but so investing towards the end because once Landry threw that pick, I was like, it's over. Then Shazier made the play of a lifetime, and, we won that game.
Yeah, literally edge of your seat. That's what it was.
It was incredible. It was, oh, God, man, That was almost 10 years ago. It was 9 years ago. Wow,
yeah.
Time flies, guys. Time flies.
Yep.
Wow, man. That's insane. Yeah, that was a fun time. That was a fun little era. Wow. You guys were still playoff winless. And now we're playoff winless.
You guys had AJ McCarron lean that. Wow, man. That's how bad our defense was back then.
Yeah, now
that's how terrible. AJ McCarron almost beat us.
I know, man. And dude, we they have a more recent playoff win than we do.
By the way, I still don't forgive Mike Mitchell for not tackling AJ Green there. That play pissed me off.
I know.
That play really pissed me off.
There's a lot of plays. That was intense football, dude. Wow. That was a time.
Yeah, almost 10 years later, the roles have now unfortunately swapped. And listen, real shit here. If the Bengals can remain healthy, if Burrow can remain healthy, they can make a run. No bullshit.
Right.
I hate saying that. I really do. But, if healthy, the Bengals can really go. They can take the limit. They can go the limit with the Chiefs.
They have so far been the only team to beat Mahomes in the championship game.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow, when healthy, is the number 2 best quarterback in the league. No doubt about it. Question is, when healthy? When healthy.
Yeah, that's the problem.
So.
But now he's got that Cody Rhodes look, so.
He's going to finish his story, isn't he?
I hope not.
Does that make TJ Watt the final boss?
You're goddamn right it does.
Makes TJ Watt the final boss.
I said goddamn. Is that a swear?
I guess.
I'll put it in there. Imagine those fines it would be now, says
Oh,
Tyler.
God.
Forget fines. They'd be suspended. They'd be suspended.
There were already fines back then. Remember when Goodell used to fine players for like custom cleats, or he fined Cam Hayward for having eye black with Ironhead written on it?
Yeah.
They fine people for breathing at this point, dude. Wow. Now they thankfully kind of leaned off a little bit, but actually no, they haven't. They fined Jalen Warren last year for taunting. No, I'm sorry. It wasn't even taunting. It was for, like, lowering his helmet while trying to make a run or something.
Yeah, he did a football move, but because he
Lowered his helmet?
he lowered his helmet or he went forward with his helmet, you know, that's a no-no.
That's how you run the fucking football. You put your head down, you push forward. It's the first thing they teach you.
I don't know.
Wow. Anyway, are you guys streaming during preseason game on Saturday? You know it.
Yep, the stream's already up. It's already scheduled.
Yeah, the stream is already up. I got Russell Wilson on the thumbnail, and Mitch Trubisky. I didn't think I'd have him on the Steelers thumbnail.
We gotta
again.
endure seeing Mitch Trubisky at Heinz Field again.
You know who we don't have to endure, though? Chase Claypool, because he is on IR. Season-ending IR. Yes, he was with the Bills, in case you guys didn't know. And I was looking forward to seeing a guy like Cortrez go up against him. Chris!
We've got 2 words for you.
He says with the $2, says, this trade situation reminds me of AB to the Oakland Raiders. Yeah. Yep, I remember that. Well, originally he got traded to the Bills, and then he declined to go to the Bills.
Yeah, that was wild.
So, yeah, this
to this day, I wonder what the Steelers would have gotten in return from the Bills. Definitely more than what they got from the Raiders.
We'll
I'm sure
know.
of that.
We'll never know.
I just don't know what it was.
We'll never know. Never know. But, yeah, that was a time.
That was a doozy. Remember, everyone was like tagging Adam Schefter, like, "Yo, wake the hell up!" Remember?
Yeah, I know.
Got 2 words for you.
Anselm with a $2 says 3-way trade with Jets Reddick. I keep hearing about. Would he go to the Niners?
I mean, the Niners can never have too many pass rushers, and
No, hold on. They would have to pay
they
Reddick.
would have to pay him. Yes, I mean, like
That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense.
the money that they would give Aiyuk, they would pretty much give to Reddick, but they still got to pay their guys.
Yeah, that would make no sense. You're going to trade Aiyuk but pay Reddick?
By the way, that whole situation, the Jets are fucking
The
stupid.
Jets are stupid. You're going to trade for a guy that wants a contract and then not pay him?
It's funny, too, because they knew about the contract term and they didn't come to an agreement on an extension before the trade happened, but they still made the trade happen.
I don't know.
And they didn't do anything afterward. Made Reddick pissed, and then now he wants out, and I don't blame Reddick. Who wants to be a Jet?
Apparently Aaron Rodgers.
God bless him.
It's just, it's awful business by the Jets. But it's the Jets, so what do you expect? I won't expect anything less, as a matter of fact. Chris says Bills had offered a second for Brown. Oh, a second. Well,
Was that it?
Would have been a lot more than what we got from the Raiders, for sure, though. With that second, we could have gotten anyone but Deontay, to be real with you.
Nobody from that draft class is still on this team.
No, they're not.
No.
There's a lot of guys from our previous draft classes that aren't on the team no more.
Yeah, true that.
Thanks, Colbert. Appreciate that. SteelTwins, who do you hate more at this particular moment? The least in the AFC North. Like, not back in the day, but right now. The least? I'll be real with you. I'm going to go Bengals. And they used to be the most hated, but they're the least hated right now.
If you're not down with that, we've got 2 words for you.
Chris with a 2 says, if Niners sign Aiyuk, then they can't pay Purdy. Then they can't pay Trent Williams. Then they can't pay Dre Greenlaw. So what do you pick?
If you're not
Billy,
down
wow.
with
Keep
that,
him count. Wow, you guys are great.
we've got
Billy
2
Butcher.
words for you.
Billy Butcher with a 5 says, Watt got fucked for Defensive Player of the Year. That guy from Cleveland is not it, LOL. Put some money in the shard for me. I got you, man.
Will do, Billy. Yes, and you're absolutely correct.
Browns? Okay, this is least hated. I hate the Browns. I despise the Browns. First of all, their fan base pisses me off, and I don't like their quarterback.
No one does.
And I think Myles Garrett is very overrated. I'm not saying he's not good, but he's not that
He
good.
gets all that. I don't want to say hype,
You know-
but he gets all this recognition, but yet, yeah, like come on, 1 sack in what, 2 months?
Yes.
Are you kidding me? It wasn't even a sack leader.
Well, the NFL Network, when they were doing the NFL honors and whatever, they showed his stats and said, like, everything was 7th overall, but he won Defensive Player of the Year. How is he 7th overall in stats, but wins
Yeah,
Defensive
they're
Player of
just
the Year?
giving awards to people because, you haven't got one yet.
When T.J. Watt led the league in sacks.
Yeah.
And a third of his snaps is dropping back in coverage.
I don't know what Watt has to do. Does he got to tie Strahan's record again? Does he need to break it, which he probably should have? What does Watt need to do?
Dude, man, the amount of times Aaron Donald got Defensive Player of the Year, and rightfully so, there were also times Watt should have gotten it over him, man. Watt should already be at minimum a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. Minimum. Max 4. And he's only played his 8th year coming up?
I think. If he had 4, I think that would be the record. I think the record is only 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards.
Wow.
Gifted to one person.
That's incredible.
So 4 would be the record, I believe.
What upsets me the most about that information is he has not won a playoff game yet.
No.
His brother, JJ, who's retired, by the way, has a more recent playoff win than he does. That's got to change this year. And you know how you change that this year? You trade for a guy like Aiyuk. I'll be real with you, man. I'll be 1,000% real with you, bro. Our receivers, man, have been mid. They have been mid since AB, bro. Mid. I don't want to say they sucked because that's being a little over dramatic, but they've been mid since AB left. Pickens has been a grace from God. Really.
And
That's why we need to get Aiyuk, man. We need that difference maker. We need that guy. We need that explosiveness. We need that elite dog at receiver. Everyone else was mid. Everyone but Pickens has been mid. It's about time we change that. I know our scheme sucks, so that might have watered down some of their production, but they've been mid. We got a new scheme change. We got a new quarterback room. We got a new everything offense, bro. You go all in. You got to fix everything. That trash-ass offense we got to watch the last 5 years now, nah, man, you do whatever you take to get this guy. I'm tired of seeing the same shit every fucking year. You go get someone that's going to change everything.
Don't get your hopes up, dude.
Now I'm getting my hopes up again, bro.
Don't get your hopes up.
Now, Con, now that's what Con's all about, dude.
I gotta bring it back to level. I gotta bring it back to level.
Well,
ground.
okay, well let me just settle with this. Let me just settle with this, dude. Whether or not we get Aiyuk, we gotta give massive props and a massive appreciation to Omar Khan because of what he has done and what he has accomplished so far as GM. He has put the Steelers in position to get a blockbuster player like this, to make a blockbuster move like this. Probably one of the biggest trades that they have ever done in Steelers history, and that includes trading up for Troy in the draft, trading for Jerome Bettis, trading for Minka Fitzpatrick. Like, shout out to Omar Khan for putting the Steelers in position to do this. That gives me good hope, good faith that within reason, he's going to put the Steelers in position to improve. He's gonna put the Steelers in position to be an improved football team within reason, to make moves like this.
Yeah, Omar Khan has completely changed the whole perspective of how the Steelers approach the offseason.
What do people say? This ain't your daddy's Steelers?
No. Like he's changed the direction of how they go, the approach of how they go, the perception of what they used to be. Like, this is a different type of Steelers right here, type of Steelers front office. And it's something I can appreciate.
Yes.
We've got 2 words for
Chris
you.
with a 2. Wow. Hold on. We got another one. Give it a minute. Come on, Ben. Hold on.
If
There you
you're
are.
not down with that, we've
I never
got 2
been told.
words for
Ansem,
you.
1134 with a 5 says, yeah, some people be saying we got good depth with what we got, but we need Aiyuk, man, hands down. I'm tired of dealing with mid-level receivers. Couldn't agree more. Tired of seeing it.
Like, say we get Aiyuk, then the guys we have behind, yes, they're fine depth, because that's what they are. They're wide receiver 4s, 5s, whatever. But what we got them in position now, I mean, that's why I'm not confident in them going out there and performing.
No, and what, like Chris says, we need to draft a quarterback in 2025. We are 2 years away. And you notice the recent trend within some of the most successful. Billy with a 2. Wow. Billy with a 2 says, Browns, it's only good to take them to the toilet. LOL. Yeah, it's always great to take the Browns to the Super Bowl, man. It's one of my favorite things to do, especially before streams. Just saying. No, but yeah, I agree. You notice like the recent trend, honestly, the recent formula and a lot of team success the past number of years is they have been able to achieve or overachieve or get to a Super Bowl and sometimes even win one while having a quarterback within a rookie contract. Chiefs did it with Mahomes. Bengals did it with Joe Burrow. Eagles did it with Jalen Hurts. It's doable, and it's the best way to do it because you win while having your quarterback in a rookie contract, and then you pay the guy. That's how you do it nowadays, man. And yes, I'm very confident the Steelers are going to draft a quarterback in 2025, and that's why Omar Khan didn't trade a first for Aiyuk. If the trade goes through.
Yeah.
But what we're hearing with the deal that is on the table right now, the rumors are saying that they didn't trade a first. So that first could go to a quarterback next year. Whether they'll compete with Wilson or Fields or whoever next year, I mean, that'll be determined. But yeah, I think that's Khan's long-term thinking. Electric Visual says, I'm convinced Aiyuk signed back. I hope not. That's my gut feeling too, but I'm really hoping not. I'm holding out hope that that's not the case.
Just waiting on the report. How much longer are we going to wait? Probably a long time.
Jonathan Scott says, I've seen a report. We got 3 players that's hurt, but who was hurt? Yeah, that was during today, the last day of training camp. Which, by the way, Steelers training camp's over.
Yeah, today was the last day. Steelers training camp for this season is in the books.
Yeah. So I think the 3 players that got hurt was Nate Herbig, Graylin Arnold, and who was the other one? I think it was one of the running backs. Ward, I think.
Jonathan
It was either
Ward?
Ward or P. I think it was Ward. Ward got hurt, I think. Yeah, those were the 3 guys that got hurt today. They went out early with practice because of injuries, which sucks for them because those are guys that are trying to, find roles onto this team.
Yeah,
So,
of course.
will Roman Wilson play the next game? I don't know what. We'll have to see what Tomlin says. I was anticipating a Tomlin press conference today. We didn't get it, so it's probably gonna happen tomorrow. Billy with a 20.
We've got 2 words for you.
The Dirty Bird, we got a shotgun for that. I see you. I don't like them Ravens either. Man. What's wrong with Benton? He had an eye injury. He returned to practice today.
Yeah, he's good.
Right.
He's good.
God, we should trade the first if we are in the middle of the pack as usual. We will not get a good quarterback, probably worth of a first when we will draft. Just get Aiyuk and trade the first. I wouldn't trade the first. If you can get Aiyuk without trading the first, you do that. And they have done that. They can do that. They have a deal set in motion.
It's in place. Yeah.
All that needs to happen is Aiyuk says, this isn't enough for me. I'm not listening to you no more. And then the 49ers call Khan like, hey, you got a deal. It's done. And then Aiyuk is on his way on the other side of the country. Which, by the way, there was an update on Aiyuk today. He was at the 49ers practice wearing a 49ers shirt.
Okay.
It's not groundbreaking. It doesn't confirm anything. For all we know, he could have been there to say his goodbyes. I wish. I kid, but I wish.
You got to remember, he's been missing practice, and I think every time he misses practice, he gets fined. Maybe he just got tired of being fined. And maybe he was just there to be in person to talk to John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. Could be something, could be nothing, but
could be something, could be nothing. I don't know. It's all aggravating. It's very, very aggravating, man.
Hey, he's just here so he don't get fined. Right? That's just the way it is.
Yeah. So yeah, that's essentially all we gotta say about Aiyuk. There's nothing really else to say. It's just one of those things where it's once again the waiting game, and that's the game I hate playing the most. I hate the waiting game in anything possible. But when it regards to Steelers, yeah, I despise that game. But here we still are. It's already been 5 months, and I gotta wait a little extra time to get an answer for something
It's crazy too because Jerry Rice on Instagram he posted something of like,
Yeah, what did Jerry Rice post? Yeah, 'cause I kept seeing that come around.
what could happen like tomorrow morning? Will he stay or will he go? Like he really like got the people talking on
I'd imagine
he
Rice
posted on Instagram.
I'd imagine Rice has some
Let's ride.
wow. Shout out to
That's right.
Nick, subscribed to the Steel Twins. Shout out to Nick. Hell yeah.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, Jerry Rice right here.
Nickelodeon. Okay, I'll shut up.
Okay. Jerry Rice, he posted yesterday. I guess we will all find out tomorrow, Goats. Will he stay or leave? Well, we're 8 minutes away from the 15th of August, and we have no new information, Jerry.
None.
So
He lied.
I guess we're gonna. Yeah, he did lie. We're not gonna find out today.
Oh shit. Ola Adani retired.
Really?
Yeah.
Ola Sukami Adani.
Any of y'all remember Ola Adani, number 92? Yeah, he just retired. Just seen that on X.
Talk about preseason beast.
Yeah.
That was him.
Yeah, man. Alex Kozora of Steelers Depot just put it on his account. Wow. Shout out to Ola Adani. He was a camp goddess. He was a preseason dog.
And good for him. Happy retirement.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, that's all we gotta say about Aiyuk. We're gonna transition into some of the some preseason and the final training camp discussion because there's some things that happened this week that are of note, and some things we could see change for the second preseason game, which will grab a lot of our attention, and it's a lot of good. But before we get into that, I want to thank the sponsor of today's podcast episode. Shout out to Chris Gates Fitness and his online fitness training camp program. Here's a word from our sponsor, Chris Gates Fitness. Hey guys, quick cut in here. Just want to give a huge thank you, huge shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Chris Gates Fitness and his online fitness training camp. Chris Gates is an online fitness coach that was born and raised in the South Hills of Pittsburgh and is a massive Steelers fan, and he's created a fitness program that ties in football and fitness. With Chris as your coach, you'll get top-notch guidance to keep you on top of your health and fitness goals with a community that is doing the exact same that will push you along the entire way. Click the link in the description box below. Check out chrisgatesfitness.com/SteelTwins and use the code SteelTwins at checkout to get 50% off your first month for the fitness training camp program. Now, a word from our sponsor, Chris Gates himself.
What's up, everybody? Chris here from Chris Gates Fitness and the online fitness training camp. Thanks for giving me a few seconds to drop in and tell you about what we got going on in training camp this month. Super excited. The August program just went live a few days ago. Everybody's jumping into the first week of their workouts and having a blast. The private group is full of discussion, which I love to see. We're having a great time. We're going to be doing weekly football pick'em here near the end of the month. Be giving away free supplements for that. In September, we're doing a step count challenge. I'm going to give away a treadmill to that winner. So there's lots of great stuff coming. Also, obviously excited to see the Steelers, figure out what the quarterback situation is. Lots of good stuff happening. So would love to see you in training camp if you're interested. SteelTwins is the discount code. You can still get a discount on your first month. Let's get signed up before football season starts and get to work. I'll see you in training camp.
There you go, guys. Huge shout out to Chris Gates and his online fitness training camp program for shouting us out and sponsoring today's podcast episode. Click the link in the description below. Use the code SteelTwins to get the discount code 50% off. Just $25 for your first month. Something worth a try and just to boost your fitness and gym goals. So definitely look into that. And the link to that is in the description below. So definitely go check that out. Thanks to him again for sponsoring today's podcast episode as we transition into a little bit of training camp talk because the 2024 Steelers training camp is in the books. Latrobe, we will see you next year. It's one of those things where it's kind of, I don't know, it's just one of those things that comes to an end and you're like, damn, we won't see that for another year.
No.
And it was, it's a massive opportunity for a lot of players. And some of those players we're going to touch on right here. One of them is Grayland Arnold because we all know the slot corner role is undetermined. Cam Sutton is suspended for the first 8 games. Beanie Bishop was getting the majority of the first team reps at slot corner. And that changed this week with Grayland Arnold, where me personally, I wasn't impressed with Beanie Bishop. I don't know how you guys feel. I didn't like what I saw from Beanie Bishop. I thought almost every target thrown his way was caught, and he allowed a lot of yardage, first downs. It didn't really transition from what we heard in training camp. So because of that, Grayland Arnold was getting first-team slot reps all this week. And unfortunately, he suffered I think Tomlin said a calf injury, and he had to exit practice early today, which is unfortunate because this is a big opportunity for him. He's trying to make one last stretch to make a roster spot, make a starting role here for the slot corner position, because I'm very concerned about the slot position. Yeah, I really am. So the fact that he is getting first-team reps shows you that they're really trying to give anyone the opportunity to step up and showcase himself. We'll see what Tomlin says. I'm sure he'll have a press conference tomorrow or Friday. Most likely tomorrow. We'll see what he says there, or if Arnold is able to play. But, yeah, I kind of want to see more from him because, yeah, slot corner is still a concern. And Beanie Bishop is still listed the starter in the depth chart. But
yeah, the week 2 depth chart has not changed one bit. Everything's pretty much the same as week 1.
But if nothing changes between Bishop this week and next week, yeah, slot corner is a massive concern still.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping a guy like Arnold, if he is able to play, can step up versus the Bills in the preseason game, because I think our defense needs it. I think we need someone to step up and take that role seriously.
Yeah, and Beanie Bishop, for his sake, he's going to have a bounce-back game, in my opinion, to keep his name as a starter, to retain that starting role.
Right.
And just to live up to that potential, because he is a pure slot cornerback. He's a pure nickel guy.
Yes.
He has the playability, he has the mentality, he has the physical attributes to play that position. It's just, he's going to have to work on the mistakes and just be a little bit consistent out there.
Agreed. So we'll see, what his participation is for the Bills game. We'll see what Tomlin says about that. Another corner that's been getting a boost in reps, specifically first-team reps, has been Corey Trice.
And this is what I like to hear.
Yes, Corey Trice was getting first-team reps all week after seeing what was it, like a quarter or so of playing time versus the Texans, where he showed what he can do in the run game, what he could do, lined up outside, and man coverage. He read a screen perfectly and got the tackle for loss. I mean, that's just textbook. That's just the type of player Trice is, the instincts that he has, the recognition, the awareness he brings to the position. It's great to hear and see that for Trice, because obviously he didn't play at all last year.
No.
He didn't even play a preseason game. So the fact that he's starting to get a boost in opportunity, and most of that is because Dante Jackson is still killing from an injury. He suffered early in the game versus the Texans. So I don't know what his participation is going to be. He's still healing from, I think Tomlin said, bumps and bruises. He says that about a lot of players, but that's what he characterized Jackson's injury being. So we'll see if Jackson plays or not. But because he's been out the past couple of days, Trice has been getting a boost in first-team reps, which is great, which means in the Bills game, Corey Trice could very well see a lot more playing time, and a lot more playing time sooner in the game, potentially first quarter, maybe the entire first half, maybe the majority of the game. They're trying to give him the range. They're trying to give him as many reps as possible. I think Trice deserves it. I think they should give it to Trice, especially seeing how Anthony Averett wasn't really the biggest playmaker last week.
No, obviously not. And when it comes to cornerback, you already guys know the starters, the 1-2 punch, JPJ, Dante Jackson. But the primary backup cornerback is kind of undetermined at the moment.
Yeah.
Guys like Darius Rush, Corey Trice, they can compete for that right now. Trice is doing that at the moment as he's getting a lot of first-team reps, which you love to hear. Another thing that you love to hear, he's remaining healthy.
Yes.
I don't want to jinx the guy. I really don't. But, he's staying healthy. He's getting in there. He's getting the work in. He's working with the first. This is something you love to see, and I do agree. After how he played in the preseason and the Steelers just giving him that opportunity, continue to give it to him. Give that guy a shot to work with the first.
And not just Trice, but Ryan Watts, who had a great game playing safety. I want to see more Darius Rush in the slot. I want to see Darius Rush get more slot time. I want to see if he can be the slot guy, truthfully.
Yeah.
And Thomas Graham. Thomas Graham is a very quiet player. He's having a quiet camp. I think he brings aggression and great ball skills. So I want those guys to get a massive chunk of time. We might see some JPJ. We might see some Dante Jackson, maybe. But I want to see a lot of playing time for Trice, for Rush, for Watts, for Graham, for guys like that.
Yeah, this whole cornerback depth, really, give these guys the reps that they need. Give these guys the opportunity to go out and showcase just how capable they can be.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of bodies in the cornerback room. You know, Graylin Arnold's another one. Beanie Bishop is obviously another one. So you get a lot of these guys, but I want to see more from the guys that we had on the roster last year, or some of the draft picks that we selected later on into the draft the past couple years. I want to see them get involved a little more. Speaking of getting involved in a little more and being a draft pick in the last number of rounds the past couple years, Spencer Anderson. I thought he did very well in the Texans game, being the first team left guard, and then when McCormick came in, he played right guard. He looked good, and he sold the shit out of that penalty, whatever that was.
Hey man, he's got a future in Hollywood.
Next level WWE sell, man. Let me tell you, unbelievable.
He will have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yeah, really. For that flop, for that act. LeBron James would be jealous. That's all I gotta say. But no, because Isaac Seumalo's been getting a ton of rest days. I get he's a veteran, but Seumalo has been getting a ton of rest days, which means more first-team reps for Spencer Anderson at left guard. And obviously because Troy Fautanu is hurt, and Troy Fautanu will be out for 2 weeks, according to Jerry Dulac. So he will be out, and Tomlin did confirm he will be out versus the Bills. We will not see Troy Fautanu this week. We might not even see him next week. I don't know. But we know for sure Fautanu hasn't practiced all week, and he will not play versus the Bills, unfortunately. Which obviously means Broderick Jones got switched back to right tackle for the first-team offense, for the first-team reps. Unfortunately, we all know who's at left tackle. But one thing of note is Spencer Anderson got first-team reps at left guard, but with the second team, because we don't have great depth at the tackle position, in the second team, Spencer Anderson would move over to right tackle.
That's right.
Now, I noticed that a little bit last week as well. Now, he saw a majority of time at the guard position, but obviously because Fautanu's hurt, now he's going to have to play that tackle role. And Anderson is incredibly versatile. He's played every position possible at Maryland.
Yeah, we all know this.
So this is no shock, and the Steelers just adore a guy like this, someone that can come in and just play everything. Kind of reminds me of a Chris Hubbard. Or Chris Hubbard, or like a Matt Fielder. But I like Chris Hubbard a little more because Chris Hubbard was just good at anything.
Yeah, they were pure guard tackle hybrid type of players there.
Right. So, yeah, I mean,
got the experience there.
Yeah, but he's getting a lot of playing time is what I'm trying to say. And he's going to get, a little more responsibility having to play tackle a little bit.
Yeah, of course. I mean, quite frankly, I feel like the Steelers could have done a better job at getting swing depth or just overall right tackle depth.
Yeah, because Dylan Cook's not being moved over to right. He is purely a left guy, and the Steelers aren't going to move him over there. They're not moving Dan Moore at right tackle because that's not a good idea. And they don't have anyone else at the tackle position.
All they got is Troy Fautanu and Broderick Jones, and both of them are your starters. And we all know where Broderick needs to be, but since Fatanu's out, Broderick's got to move over back to the right.
Right.
And when it comes to the depth, it's for right tackle, it's not that great.
Right.
That's not good. Hence, Spencer Anderson is now working with his second team at that, and he has very, very good experience at right tackle. I think back in 2021, he started 9 games in Maryland at right tackle.
Wow.
And in 2022, he only started 1 game at right tackle, but nonetheless, still, he has that experience there. So, but him getting playing time, I mean, this is the Steelers giving him the true test.
Sure.
Being that versatile lineman that they sought out in the 7th round in last year's draft class, this is a big opportunity, him in his second year. Seumalo getting rest days, that I don't see it as a big deal, quite honestly. I think it's fine.
Right.
So they'll give Seumalo the rest days and then just give Spencer Anderson this big opportunity right here. And so far, from what I've seen in the first preseason game, he looked very good over at the guard position. I believe he primarily played right guard. Again, showcasing his versatility, but now having the extra responsibility at right tackle, I think he'll do good. I think he'll do fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's just an extra opportunity for him, so that's good. He's gonna get an increased role, especially with her big hurt. We don't know what his injury is. He went out with a disclosed injury as well, so that obviously meant more first team reps for Zach Frazier. Finally, for the first time all training camp, Zach Frazier finally got some first team reps at center. and that was persistent all week. Now, today, Nate Herbig got hurt with an undisclosed injury, so Lord knows what that is, what the extension is. But one thing's for sure, Zach Frazier is getting first-team reps, and that should remain the same. That should not change.
That should change one bit. His reps for first team should not decrease at all.
No, because, going back to Spencer Anderson real quick, because Broderick is playing first team right tackle, and we don't have another backup tackle to play second team, that is going to be Spencer Anderson. So you're looking at your second team offensive line, such as Dylan Cook at left tackle.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking at Mason McCormick at left guard. You're looking at Zach Frazier at center. You're looking at Nate Herbig, if healthy, at right guard, and Spencer Anderson at right tackle. That could be the second team offensive line that we see with Fields and or Wilson come Saturday night.
Yeah.
Just my initial thoughts there. Just my quick little prediction. Otherwise, I don't know who else will play the guard position. Maybe Joey Fisher, because he played a little bit versus the Texans. So just gonna throw that out there as well.
If you're not
Maybe.
down with that,
Wow, another
we've
5
got
from
two
Ansem.
words for you.
He says, "I'm just waiting for the news with Aiyuk going to the Steelers during the live." Me too. Secretly, we're hoping it breaks live.
I mean, I'm refreshing Twitter. I mean, just nothing.
Secretly, we're hoping. Yes,
It's just dead.
It's gonna be dead. It's gonna be dead, man. But yeah, Zach Frazier's getting first team reps, so that's a good thing. That should remain the same. One more quick note about training camp is Russell Wilson and Justin Fields are continuing to split reps at quarterback.
Yeah.
And what I'm hearing is they're going throw for throw. Like, this is looking like a legitimate quarterback battle. So it could be won by anybody. And Tomlin hasn't said anything about Wilson playing yet because he hasn't had his fucking press conference. So I would imagine it's going to be tomorrow, and then we'll finally get some news if Wilson will play or not. I would anticipate him to play. If not, Justin Fields should get the entire first half. If Wilson is playing, I would anticipate something very similar to what Justin Fields got last week, where Wilson will play the first quarter, Fields should play the next two, and then Kyle Allen should finish it out. That's what I would hope happens.
That's what I would like to see. I mean, I feel like we don't need to see 2 extra quarters of Kyle Allen. That's just me.
No.
I don't know why we needed to see 3 quarters of Kyle Allen against Houston. I think we all know what his role is going to be.
Yes.
We don't need to see 3 quarters of Allen, let alone 2 against the Bills. Give. If Russ is playing, give him his reps, give him his time, give him at least a quarter.
I do want to see,
Ease him in there.
I want to see Russ in the preseason, man.
But I want to see Fields get extra playing time. I feel like he should have gotten that against Houston. They didn't do that for some reason. I feel like they kind of need to own up to that and give him at least 2 quarters. I agree.
I also want to see if Fields can better some of his mistakes from last week. The fumbles, the pocket awareness.
The way he can do that is if he gets that extra playing time.
Exactly.
Just see if he can learn from it.
Exactly.
If he can work with it.
So, yeah, that's what I would anticipate with the quarterback play this week, if Wilson plays or whether or not he plays or not. Just give Fields more playing time. I'm hoping Wilson does play just because we need to get some sort of glimpse that he's healthy and he's ready to go and he needs to get some chemistry with this offense.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting more involved in practice, He's, like you said, splitting reps, apparently just splitting throws back-to-back with Fields. So, yeah, showcase Wilson.
No, it's also one of those things where I know Tomlin said he's not concerned about the lack of reps, but I am.
You still want to get some in there, of course.
You need that chemistry. You need to be able to make sure that this is a guy that can get the ball to your receiver.
This is not a Big Ben situation where Ben, of course, knew everything. He knew the players. He knew the playbook. He knew what to do. This is a new quarterback in a new system, man. This is nowhere near that situation from back in the day.
Yeah, you got to play Russ. And if he plays, he'll get the first quarter. Fields should get the next 2. Allen should finish it out.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Who they play with, what their line configurations are, that will be to be determined. But I think you guys can already get a glimpse of what it's going to look like.
And what I do want to see more from Fields, because I forgot to mention this last week after the Texans game, we didn't see a lot of read options.
No.
We didn't really see, again, it was only 1 quarter. Maybe if they gave him another quarter, we maybe could have seen some aspects of that. That's what I'm kind of hoping we see just a little,
right.
little bit of this upcoming game.
Yeah, I mean, we saw some pistol, but we didn't see enough, read option. We didn't see enough RPO.
Then again, maybe they don't want to risk Fields, getting hurt. Maybe they don't want to risk anything happening to Fields.
It's also they don't want to throw all their eggs in one basket.
That I could
understand. Just throw out everything. But, they got 2 more preseason games, so I would imagine we're going to see a little bits of that. So
I hope so.
I mean, what we saw last week in regards to the play calling, in regards to what the offense expressed on the field in terms of their ability to stretch the ball, stretch the field, get the ball down the field, 2 thumbs up from me. We were able to get, 2-3 plays of 20-plus yards or more through the air?
Yeah, they showcase that they can get the plays done. It's just they got to be consistent with it. They got to clean up the little mishaps.
Yeah, so, I mean, those are things that we can hopefully continue to see and then some. This is what preseason's for, man. Just transforming this into the new scheme, getting these players conditioned and ready to go, and it's going to be interesting to see what Tomlin says tomorrow. Who could play, who could not play. Maybe say Amalu doesn't play, maybe Patrick Queen doesn't play again, maybe Minka, Watt, Highsmith, Hayward don't play again. We'll see what happens. We'll see what he says, but that's going to be very interesting. But most interesting is going to be what he says about Russell Wilson.
Yep.
That's what I'm looking most forward to. And then, we can kind of expect some things in regards to his playing time. Very similar to what Fields got. But how do you guys feel about everything going into Saturday? Because, training camp's over. They're going to have all, these little mini practices and stuff like that throughout the week. But, training camp's done, guys. Another training camp in the books. Another training camp at St. Vincent College is done. So, we'll see what these players can do with weeks of preparation, weeks of practice, weeks of reps. But I'm glad that with the final week of training camp that some of these guys are able to get bigger opportunities, more roles, more reps for them. Guys like Frazier, guys like Trice, guys like Arnold, guys like that, guys like Spencer Anderson. I think that's perfect for them. I think that's exactly what they need, and hopefully some of that will be transition.
Run the ball!
Shout out to Austin Frank, who became an STN member. That's right, run the ball.
Thank you, Austin.
But, hopefully some of that transitions into Saturday night, especially for a guy like Trice. So we'll see. It's gonna be very interesting.
Yeah.
What's gonna be even more interesting is when the hell are we gonna get an answer on this Brandon Aiyuk stuff?
Probably not for a while, if I had to guess, because that's just how it comes off as. That's just how it feels.
Jose says we need Justin Simmons. What if Minka gets hurt? I agree. I'm also thinking, man, sign Justin Simmons and we can put him in the slot. Not full time, obviously, but he can work in the box. He can work in the run. He can cover.
He's still a free agent. I know.
How?
I know he visited the Saints. I think he visited another NFC
Colts.
South team. Oh, was it that?
It was the Colts.
Okay.
I think it was the Colts. I'm sure. Okay, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. He visited the Saints, and I know he was talking with the Colts. I think that's the last update I have.
Okay. Now, him with the Colts would be interesting.
Yeah?
I'm not going to lie about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Him with the Saints, him paired with Tyrann Mathieu, that's pretty filthy in itself as well.
Right.
But the Falcons also talked with Justin Simmons, him and Jesse Bates. Imagine that duo. They already acquired Matthew Judon for just a third.
Yeah.
So, they're stacking up that defense.
Yeah, they're going to need to because, I know they got Cousins, and, this is all week 1 talk, but, yeah, they're really trying to, revamp everything back there. They fixed their entire coaching staff. Good things could be on the horizon for Atlanta, but.
Yeah, Raheem Morris and them, yeah.
Yeah. But no, they can't have Simmons. He's got to be a Steeler, man. There's 2 guys that got to be a Steeler by week 1, and that's Aiyuk and then that's Simmons. I'd hope so. I'm hoping, depending on what happens, especially in the slot room, that they were to make a decision in regards to that. But the easiest decision is to just call up Simmons. And especially if we get Aiyuk, why wouldn't he want to come to the Steelers, dude? He wouldn't be expensive either. He wouldn't be expensive at all.
No, he wouldn't.
No, man. X Concept says Nick Bosa is overrated and overpaid. I don't disagree. I think he's overhyped a little bit. And I always thought it was because he's the brother of Joey. Truthfully. I remember he had that incredible rookie season, and he was already like 90-something overall in Madden.
Yep.
I'm like, slow the fuck down. Like, my God. Slow your roll, bro. This is like Sauce Gardner type fucking shit right here. I don't feel particularly good, says OD40K. I'm worried about how tough we are and how well prepared we are. Historically, Tomlin always lets us down. You're not wrong. That is my ultimate fear this season, is that Tomlin's going to pull another Tomlin. Until proven otherwise, that will always be my deep fear, despite having all the excitement I do right now. But yes, that's why we say same old Steelers, same old Tomlin, right?
Again, low expectations. Can't really go into the season, with high expectations when they haven't done anything.
Jose, 100%. I would absolutely trade Freiermuth for Aiyuk. Are you kidding me? That's a receiver increase. That is an upgrade at receiver.
Big time.
That's an upgrade of a pass target. Who would be our tight end? Darnell Washington. Do you know how many tight ends that we have on the roster that we could still incorporate into the offense, that Arthur Smith is still going to incorporate into his schemes, into his run packages, into 13 personnel?
Open up bigger opportunity for Connor Hayward.
We got Darnell, we got Michael Pruitt, we got Connor Hayward, who's a receiving threat. As long as he remains on the team, yeah, I think Freiermuth can have another breakout year. But if you're asking me to trade Freiermuth for Aiyuk, yeah, I'm doing it.
But, no question.
But that's not happening because according to Jerry Dulock, no players were involved in the deal that is currently in place. So there you go. There you go.
0.
That's incredible. Didn't stop giving us blue balls. The speculation is killing me, says Sandwave. Man, right there with you. I'm getting stressed out about this, dude. I gotta keep my mind off of that.
I'm just about over it.
I think Connor Hayward should be cut, keeping him around just because Cam is not cool. Connor Hayward is underrated. Connor Hayward is a very good football player, man. He can be used in special teams, and I think he's a very, very underutilized receiver. And honestly, he might make the roster as the fullback because we're going to run a lot of I for him this year.
He can play it. I've always stated, ever since he was selected, there's a role for Connor Hayward in the NFL.
Yeah.
There's a role for him for the Steelers.
Right.
It's just that they got to find an exact role for that. Arthur Smith could be the guy that figures it out.
It's either going to be Hayward or Jack Coletto. So we'll see. The fact that he has tight end experience and fullback experience with his time in Michigan State, he has some blocking ability. So, he's a guy that can do it all. But that's another thing I want to see more of in the Bills game is how much more iPhone we gonna get, how much more fullback time we gonna see. That's another thing I want to see too, man. Because I'll be real with you, Jack Coletto's getting a lot of time. So maybe they're trying to find a pure instead of a hybrid. Will says Jacoby Windman should be fighting for that linebacker spot. Mark Robinson's spot is up for grabs. Yes, it is. And Jacoby Windman had himself a good game last week.
He did. Yeah, he did.
He had a really good game last week. So yeah, maybe he's a guy that could push for that final spot, man. Because yeah, Mark Robinson is knocking on that exit door.
Yeah, he is. It doesn't look too bright for Mark. They brought Tyler Matakavich back in. He's a pure special teamer.
Right.
But now, this guy, he's making a name for himself. His name's rising up. Windman, yeah.
We'll see.
You never know.
That's what preseason's all about, guys. It's going to be fun, man. Najee Harris total yards for the season guesses. Total yards, I'm going to say...
If you're not down with that,
oh, my God, another 5 for Anselm.
Got 2 words for you.
This guy's a dog, man. Says, bro, if they put Pat on the table, the deal would have been done a long time ago. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, no question.
No, because, man, I don't want to get on it too long, but people were saying, oh, man, well, they're going to trade Pickens for Aiyuk. They're going to trade Minka for Aiyuk. That's not happening.
No.
That would instantly go from the most desired trade to the most hated trade. It's not happening.
No, you're not doing that.
But if Pat was an option to trade, yeah, no brainer. But that's not happening, so Pat will be a Steeler this year, and he will ride out the rest of his contract, and we'll see if he gets extended. So we'll see. Move Mark Robinson to fullback. He's an running back and a big hitter. I don't hate that concept. I actually like that idea.
He's got the build for it.
I actually like that idea.
He definitely has the build for it. That running back, linebacker, hybrid build, and just familiarity right there. I mean,
You know,
if they want to find a role for Mark Robinson, they want to give him a chance, they could absolutely do that.
You want to know another player that kind of had a similar journey? Now, keep in mind, this guy was a former linebacker turned fullback. Roosevelt Nix.
Yeah, Rosie Nix.
Who remembers
If
Rosie
you're
Nix,
not
man?
down with that,
Billy
we've
Butcher
got
with a 5.
2 words for you.
He says Aiyuk is sick of all the meth user in San Francisco. I don't know, man. Hey, he got money. He ain't got to be around all that.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
I bet he's got a fine mansion himself. He's about to.
Not yet.
I know he's
As
about
soon
to.
as he gets that money, yeah.
I know he's about to. So, yeah, I mean, what's that? I'm not going to get into that discussion. Anyway, guys, it is 23 past midnight. It is the 15th of August. I got it right this time. So,
We're in the middle of August.
yes, it is now mid-August. Wow. That means 1 month closer to September, which means 1 month closer to the regular season. How does Big Ben do with his team and Arthur Smith? Big Ben with his team? Is Big Ben coaching somewhere that I don't know about? Thought Ben was still just retiring on his podcast.
You say his team?
So that's what he
It
said.
says this team.
How does Big Ben do with this team and Arthur Smith?
You said his.
Oh, sorry. It's late. Big Ben do with this team? Big Ben ain't doing shit with this team. He's not on this team no more.
With that arm? I mean, his arm is shot.
Oh, so you're saying how would he do with listen, man. Ben's arm was shot the last 2 years he was playing, so I don't even want to envision that no more. I miss him, but I don't want to envision that no more. I really don't. Ben was awful in his last couple years. And Colbert and them stretched it out way too long, buddy. Way too long.
They stretch as long as the Niners are with Aiyuk in this crap.
Well, I stand corrected. Colbert didn't stretch it out. Art Rooney II stretched it out.
Yeah.
He really stretched it
Yep.
out. Wow.
Art believes, hey, Ben still got it in him.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
Could have known that by watching 2020, dude.
If you're not
Speaking of
down
Ben,
with that,
and some another
we've
5.
got 2 words for you.
I was loving Peyton Wilson against the Texans, bro. Dude was talking. I'm gonna be here all day. Haha, dude. He was everywhere. He's got to
Where
do
the ball was, Wilson was right towards it.
Yeah, he's got to work
Immediately.
He's got to work better at coming downhill and wrapping the tackles. But it was his first game, and he was still probably the biggest standout on that field out of everybody. So yeah, Peyton Wilson's a dog, man. I'm very excited to see what he does in game 2. Should be fun to watch.
Big time. Yeah.
It should be a very fun watch, man. As you guys know, we'll be live for that game Saturday night. The stream's already up. You guys want to go and give it a like, you guys can feel free to do so. But we're going to get on out of here, enjoy the rest of our night, and get some sleep. And hopefully by the time we wake up, maybe Aiyuk's a Steeler.
No, that's not happening.
Okay, how about 24 hours from now? Maybe it'll be a Steeler.
No.
48 hours?
Danny, this is the Niners we're talking about.
72 hours?
No,
96 hours?
I give it a week.
Can't wait another week, man. I already tried another week of this. I'm tired of it, man. How many more live streams do we got to do with talking about Brandon Aiyuk before he's
don't know,
actually a
dude.
fucking Steeler? So sorry.
I mean, I will say this, and it's pretty obvious. A deal will get done before the regular season, whether it's him being traded or he's staying.
Wait, hold on. What Niners fans trolling? We got a Niners fan trolling in the chat?
Where? Hold up. Who?
What Niners fans trolling in the chat? Are they really... Niners fans are really starting to play petty
Golden
right now?
State Niner. Yeah.
Where?
Nobody wants to go to Pittsburgh with all the broke boys. What does that even mean?
What the fuck? Broke boys.
What does that even mean,
They're
dude?
broke boys.
Are you going to be a Niner for life?
Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? Okay, time out. I wouldn't say for life, bro. You're really exaggerating.
I'll remember that.
He may still be a Niner, but not for life. I can guarantee you that right now. Anyway, guys, you guys have a great rest of your night. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate the super chats. Appreciate the interaction. Appreciate the comments. Appreciate the support as always. You guys are incredible. And we'll be live again later this week, as we said, for the Steelers versus Bills preseason game. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what Mike Thomas says tomorrow, man. So, hell yeah. You guys enjoy the rest of your night. Again, huge thank you, huge shout out to Chris Gates Fitness and his online fitness training camp for sponsoring today's podcast episode. Click the link in the description and check them out. And if you guys want to sign up, use the promo code SteelTwins to get 50% off your first month. Just $25. Go ahead and check it out. Sign up. Cancel at any time. It's definitely worth a try. Take advantage of the promo code and improve your gains, as hopefully the Steelers can improve by acquiring Brandon Aiyuk. We'll see. Maybe the next time we'll be live, it'll be a Steeler. Probably not. I'm getting my hopes up. I'm getting out of here before I start going into another rant.
Yeah.
You guys enjoy the rest of your night. Here we go.
Down, bro.
Here we go, Steelers, man.
As always, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later.
Peace! 24 hours.
No.
48 hours.
No.
36 hours.
Danny, you got to give it up.
52.7 hours.
I'm not doing that math. I am not doing that math.
Maybe 11 hours.
I said I give it a week, max. But even then, like John Lynch is he likes dragging shit out. But he's got to wait.
I've been waiting.
We all have. Again, just let it play out.
Till next time.
Whenever that is.
Hey, John Lynch, I want you to do me a massive favor.
Go fuck yourself.
23.75 hours. I am banking on it.
Swear jar.